This is Gaza, a strip of land 365 square kilometers, home to 1.8 million people. This is where I was born and grew up, and where my family still live, if you can call it living. This is Gaza, the endless tragedy. I have come back 1 month after the attack on Gaza to check on my family, even though I saw the pictures on TV night after night, and even though I was in touch with my family, nothing has prepared me for this.
We are in Bet Hanoun area, and this is a residential area. Those buildings called Abraj al-Nada, it's been completely destroyed by the Israelis in the last assault on Gaza, and many of those families who've been displaced still looking for shelters, still looking for a place to stay. In Gaza, people are still looking for their own personal belonging. In Shijaiya neighborhood, people try to get anything out of their own destroyed houses. أحجار يا هذا بيتك هذا؟
هذا بيتي.
كم واحد كان ساكن فيه هنا؟
10 كنا قاعدين.
Everybody I meet has lost somebody. Brothers, sisters, parents, children.
ما أجرني في مصيبتي يا رب، ما خلفني خيرا منها يا رب.
For the last 20 years, I think Gaza was in the eye of the storm. Since Oslo Accord were signed till today, the harvest of 20 years of so-called peace, obvious. It's a state of social-economical suffocation of Gaza Strip. And Gaza ended up with criminal, illegal, inhuman siege, sort of collective punishment, and should be ended, I mean, swiftly, immediately, completely, and not partially. But it seems this criminal siege which Israel, with the support of the Quartet, imposed on Gaza was not enough to cripple Gaza, to de-develop Gaza, to make Gaza almost like animal farm, dumping to it some food and medicine by international community.
Six building story, one of my cousins, second cousin, was demolished, leveled, flattened back to the ground in the first few days of the attack because one person was targeted.
وانا بالنسبه لي لحالي كان عندي 27 واحد وهذا 20 نفر بسكن فيه، في منا في المدارس، في حتى مدارس تابعه للحكومه ونقلونا على أنوروا مدارس الوكاله.
Simply speaking, Gaza should be a special case in the human history. In such small, tiny, poor place was subjected to 7 years of blockade, where nobody was allowed to go out or to come in. Gaza was subjected to 3 wars in 5 years, where many people were killed, thousands were injured, thousands of houses were destroyed.
فوق كان بيتنا وهنا المطبخ وهنا الحمام ولجوا كان في صالون وفي كان أوضة. كنا إحنا وإخوتي بننام بالصالون وأمي وأبوي كانوا يناموا بالأوضة. كنا الواحد يعني بداره ويحاله وساكن ومرتاح، لكن هلقيت الواحد انضغط وصار يسكن تحت. إحنا هلقيت يعني بحقنا نعيش زي الناس الدول البرة واللي بيعيشوا غربة والأشياء زي هيك. إحنا لازم نعيش يعني زيهم ونكون زي بعض. إحنا ليش مع الناس سلام وليش ما غير عنهم؟ ليش هما بيتضامنوا ضدنا؟
إخزاعي بلدة حدودية، عدد سكانها 12,000 وساكنة على الحدود، وبتعتبر في الزراعة كلها أغلبها ناس مزارعين وناس مسلمين بحاربوش. أجى الجيش الإسرائيلي قتل 150 شهيد وجرح يمكن 150 أو 250 وهجر بقية الناس من دورها ودمر دور الناس ودمر حياتهم، ما خلاش ولا حاجة في غزاع عشان الناس تقدر تعيش. دمر كل الدور، فيش دور، إبادة الدور إبادة، وقتل الناس وقتل الشجر وقتل المزارع وقتل كل حاجة، ما خلاش للناس ولا حاجة. وهذا غزاع قاعد على الحدود، يعني ما فيش فيها مشاكل، لا فيها بصواريخ ولا فيها حد بيبني مدافع. أرض ناس مزارعين ومسلمين، لأنه الناس من وين ترحل؟ يعني ما فيش بحر، هناك البحر وهنا الحدود، ما فيش مطرح اللي يروحوا فيه إلا هي إخزاع، يعني فيش إمكانية يرحلوا الناس منها. لو بدهم يدوها 50 مرة راح يبنوها تاني الناس. حتى لو بدهم يسكنوا في خيام راح يضلوا قاعدين في أرض. الواحد بيشتغل 60 سنة عشان يبنوا دار، بيجي الجيش الإسرائيلي بيهدها. طب ليش؟ 6 سنوات 3 حروب، كل ما يبنوا ناس دورهم يهدوها. ولو يبنوها يدوها 20 مرة مش راح يبنوها تاني، كل ما تنبني راح تنهد راح تنبني تاني، ما فيش إمكانية، يعني فيش لهم مكان يروحوا فيه ناس من إخزاعه. هاي الدور تفرج بعينك، هاي الدور طايحة، وهناك المزارع طايحة، وهناك الدخل مقلع، وهناك كل الدنيا مقلعة، كل الدنيا متجرفة.
Political situation and its psychological consequences does not submit the normal criteria of trauma. When we talk about trauma, usually the criteria says that post-traumatic stress disorder. Post doesn't exist in Gaza. Since we were born in Gaza, since 48, and what we learned from our parents, grandparents, always we live in trauma, traumatic events. So we call it on traumatic stress disorder, not post. Parents, grandparents, till now. So we cannot talk about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. The trauma is still on. I can give you an example, not so far. Within 6 years, this is the third Israeli offensive attack against Gaza.
Gaza itself is the largest concentration camp on earth. According to B'Tselem, mainstream Israeli human rights organization, Gaza has become the largest open-air prison on earth. And I think the only just solution that can be offered to the refugees of the Gaza Strip, to about 5 to 6 million Palestinian refugees living in Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, in refugee camps, is a secular democratic state. The two-state solution does not offer them a solution, in fact. But I think that Israel's oppression of the Palestinians, and it's not a cycle of violence, it has been a process of colonization and ethnic cleansing since 1948.
Desire of the life, fighting the death, okay, the challenge. We talk about the relation between the phoenix and the city of Gaza. It's the resurrection of this bird from the grave. It is a Zawiya market in Gaza. It's a historical market. It was beside the mosque, and it is the root of the city. It is well known that the Islamic city was contained of the mosque, and beside the mosque it was the market.
During the war, we had a hit. They bombed close to us. There is a school, the school of Manara, and there is our cemetery. Just from here, when we're sitting, just 100 meters. So they hit by bombs, and they hit once, twice, 3, 5 times. 5 bombs was coming, so we have so many problems, many damages here in the building, in the roof of the church, in the cemetery. You can see the caves and all these things.
Actually, in my 16 years, I have witnessed 3 wars. And I see that this was the worst because it was my first time to feel unsafe all the time, because in the previous 2 wars I was sure that I won't be targeted because I'm an innocent civilian, but in this war it was against civilians. So I felt like I can be targeted at any moment, and especially because I show the world the truth about Israel on Twitter.
I have come across children who walked for hours, thirsty, hungry, and afraid and terrorized, fleeing from their homes to safer place where there was no place safer than the other. I come across those patients.
In Gaza, destruction everywhere.
The devastation is beyond belief.
In 2008, Israeli troops entered the northern part of the Gaza Strip. And they stayed there for about 5 to 7 days, during which they killed about 101 civilians, including 36 children. And I think Israel did that as a rehearsal for other crimes that it had already planned to commit later on in the Gaza Strip.
Practically speaking, we are living the hell and we are facing the hell. And as if international law, international humanitarian law, is there for intellectuals or for academics, not for the people to live it on their skin.
The smell of death still hangs in the air.
يلا ارحمنا يلا يا رب ارحمنا. He's took another shot.
Israeli, I think the Israeli policy towards Gaza was a very stupid policy, and they made use of Hamas. I'm not Hamas, but I have been in Gaza for the whole my life. My son witnessed 3 wars. He's not Hamas. The majority of Gaza are not Hamas. The popularity of Hamas in Gaza is around 20%.
Figures say that more than 2,100 people were killed. More than 30% of them are children. Another 11,000 people were wounded. More than 30% of them again are children. Children were severely attacked. And when it comes to children, recent estimations made by the UNICEF reports say that about 370,000 children are in need for one sort of psychological intervention, specialized psychosocial intervention. And this estimate was based on the number of casualties and the children who live in neighborhoods or who live in families that were targeted severely.
يرحلوا عنا. احنا هيك مش عايشين في امان، احنا عايشين في حصار، احنا لو متنا احسن، احنا لو متنا احسن.
هم عايشين اولادهم مراجيح ولعبوا كله، احنا اولادنا بتلعب بالصواريخ. انا ابني مسك شظيه بفكرها لعب انفجرت في ايده راح نصبيعه الاثنين.
Poverty is extremely high. Unemployment rate before the most recent war was already 45%, which is the official unemployment rate. It certainly underrepresents overall unemployment. And this is because of the blockade, because of the lack of access to markets and freedom of movement. So it's not that goods aren't available in the shop, it's that people are too poor to buy them.
The mindless pattern of blockades, rockets, and destruction must stop.
Israel should listen to the world. It cannot stay like that, free hand in punishing other nations.
I'm committed to doing everything possible in my power to support political efforts to finally end the nearly half century of education and occupation.
This is not what we are saying. This is have been stated and said once and again by Amnesty International, by Euromed Human Rights Network, by International Committee of Jurists, by the Human Rights Watch, and many other Palestinian-Israeli human rights organizations. Israel putting in this last war civilians in the eye of the storm. That's all what we are doing. I mean, document, report, and trying to bring accountable those who committed war crimes and crimes against humanity. What had happened here, unprecedented and unique war crimes, when you erase 74 families, when you bombard factories, when you bomb the electricity power station, when you bomb schools where refugees are sheltering, when you bomb the hospitals, when you bomb our twin towers, 3 towers in Gaza.
The people I meet cry out, how could the Israelis do this?
8 سنوات من الحصار ونحن صامدون، لا هواء نقي، لا مياه، لا كهرباء، حتى الموظفين اللي بيشتغلوا لهم هلقيت حوالي 10 شهور ما فيش لهم رواتب. احنا هلقيتها انتهت الحرب، احنا اللي بندور عليه علشان نعزز آلية الصمود للشعب الفلسطيني وللبيوت اللي انتكبت وللي بيوتها انهدمت وللي بيوتهم واولادهم اتقتلوا في الحرب. احنا بنطالب هلقيت حل مؤقت، انهم يجيبوا لنا كرفانات، يجيبوا لنا خيم تحمينا، يعني يحطوها عندنا مطرح بيوتنا ما انهدمت. مش هنرحل على اي مكان تاني، ملناش مكان تاني نرحل عليه. احنا بدنا يوفروا لنا وسيلة عيش كريمة زي ما كل العالم عايشة. هاي اللي بدنا اياه.
I mean, it's an enormous challenge here. So I work for UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. We effectively manage 4 parallel government ministries in Gaza. 1.2 of the 1.8 million people here, so 70% of the population are Palestine refugees, so they're looking to us for service. So we're providing education to 240,000 students in 250 schools. We have a massive healthcare program. Right now, our focus is maintaining those programs and now dealing with the aftermath of the war, which has left probably 90,000 refugee families with damage or destruction of their homes. So there's an enormous task in just maintaining our regular programming and then now addressing with all of the additional need brought on by the conflict.
اليوم الناس يعني انقسمت بيوتها، يعني وين بدها تروح يعني؟ طيب جاي شتاء، كيف بده يقدروا يسكن؟ كيف بدهم يقدروا يلحقوا يعملوا العمار الجزئي اللي زي بيت مثلا هذا؟ ولا شباك ولا باب، وكل الواجهه معرضه للشتاء ومعرضه للهواء والسقع وصغار وكبار.
حصار برا بحرا جوا تمام، وجا الحرب صار من سيء الى اسوء. وإيش تتمنى من البلد؟ محاصرة 9 سنين 10 سنين. ايش بدك من بلد هالقد صغيره ما فيش عندها اي نوع من الاقتصاد، تمام؟ ما فيش عندها اي نوع من الاقتصاد وتتحاصر. زاد الفقر جدا، زاد البطاله جدا جدا، يعني نسبه البطاله يمكن تعدى 60-70%. يعني البلد اليوم عايشه على مرتب الموظف. حتى الموظف تمام؟ لحقوا الويلات. يعني عندك الموظفين بال4-5 اشهر صار اليوم ياخذوا كل 4-5 اشهر صار لهم 1000 شيكل 800 شيكل يعني. حتى الموظف لحق قلب الشعب يعني.
من حقنا أن نعيش زي باقي أطفال العالم، ومنا إن شاء الله ما يعيدوهاش هالحرب، وإن شاء الله تمضي على خير، ومن حقنا برضه نعيش زي أطفال العالم بحرية.
بدناش نعيش بحروب وبدنا نعيش كويس وبأمان، وهي العام الدراسي قرب وما فيش عنا ولا إشي.
كان حصار شديد زي ما انتم عارفين، حصار المعابر كلها مسكرة، ما كانتش يعني أي شيء يدخل من أي المعابر إلا بكل أسبوع مرتين يفتح المعبر. ما كانتش أي الأمور الغذائية والأدوية ما كانتش تدخل بشكل طبيعي، ولما اجت الحرب يعني سوقت أكثر من أول، ولقيت يعني سيئة جدا.
It's true, we are fronting a war from all kinds, military, economically, socially, psychologically, healthy, from all sides. And however, we're still standing, we still, I think, strong enough to confront any kind of challenges. It's not easy. It's really very scary, but we have to survive because it's our message on this war, in this life, is to continue surviving and living and to keep our children be happy and to live as well as all the children. So last feast, which finished last week, our children, and I saw the smile in all the children in Gaza.
We're not going to have a fourth war. It's not only the people in Gaza that cannot afford having a fourth war. All the world cannot afford this, because this would mean that we are desperate about finding a solution. You know, I'm 41, and I was born with this conflict already there. I've seen today children that were born during the last war here in August. We cannot go on generation by generation. That's why I say we cannot just sit and wait. If we sit and wait, it will go on for another 40 years. We have to have action now.
Beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave, how can I love when I'm afraid to fall? Watching you stand alone, all of my doubts suddenly goes away so fast.
The symbolism of Gaza, it's something unique. It's unique among all the people all over the world. It's unique, and even in the West Bank, there is such a relationship among Christians and Muslims and all over. But Gaza, it's so up. It starts from the beginning of their Christianity till today, giving these lessons of love. We have already 2,000 years life in Gaza, which is very important, and the Christian community continue her life without any obstacles and problems.
Palestinian people, despite everything, I'll talk a little bit emotional now, despite of whatever happening there, the children are still smiling. When you think of those children smiling and giggling while they are suffering of psychosocial disorders because of what happened, because of the trauma. I told you, war is trauma. Women are still willing to talk and to start again.
Like most people in Gaza, my parents were refugees, driven out of what is now Israel. Their villages burned to take refuge in the Gaza Strip. And now, after 4 generations, the population has increased. There is no infrastructure. There is no economy. They are in an open-air prison, surrounded by barbed wire and minefields and fire zones. There is nowhere to escape. People say the Israel-Palestine conflict is complicated, but it is not complicated. In fact, it's very simple. Israel and the international community have denied the Palestinians the right to be a nation, the right to be a people. That denial has lasted 65 years. The world must hold the Israelis accountable. They must hold them to account for what happened here in 2014. The world cannot stand by and allow this to happen again. And it will, if nothing is done to end these attacks, which Israel calls mowing the grass.